Hey everyone, it's me, Dirty Honey. So today I was thinking about video games and simulation and VR and all these virtual reality type things. Metaverse. This is a new thing that's coming. We keep hearing about the metaverse, which is kind of like a virtual world. It's like the internet in 3D or something like that, where you can actually turn the internet into like a video game or something, and have an avatar that walks around in this simulated metaverse and goes to stores and buys stuff in the metaverse, just like you would in real life, but everything is done in the metaverse, which is basically the internet with graphics and avatar video game blend, something like that. And the expectation or the hope or whatever is that will become something that's as enjoyable or maybe even better and easier to attain and reach than in doing it in the physical real world that we live in. And so they got VR glasses too, where you can put these VR glasses on. Virtual reality is what VR stands for. Virtual reality. So it's like this fake reality that you can submerge yourself into. And, there's video games. You go fishing or you're Spider-Man or whatever. I don't even know all the stuff. I've never actually tried it. But I know it's out there, and the people who I've talked to who have tried it said it's mega real feeling. Like you feel like you're falling and shit, even though you're just standing in your living room. You jump off this, Spider-Man falls off of his web or some shit, and your brain gets tricked, dude. You get fucking scared, like you're gonna fall, even though you're just standing in your living room. Your brain can be fooled into believing virtual is reality. And that's what VR tries to do at its best. So this is something that's kind of new. It's just coming out, and not everybody even has it yet. Like, everybody has all the other video game systems and computer and whatever. Internet, there you go. That's probably the flip side of it for grown-ups that don't play games. But it got me thinking about how in our reality we have this limited. I can't touch anything that's in front of me. Like I can touch what's right in front of me, and I can touch it, right? It feels like I'm touching something. But anything that's out of my reach, I can't touch it. I can just see it, and I can't feel it or whatever. It's just there in my eyes, and that's it, in my optical. And so it got me kind of thinking about how potentially I like what I did is I tried to put my mind, or to try and convince myself that I'm in the metaverse or some ultra realistic virtual reality. Like I'm kind of like pictured it like I'm in this sphere, inside the sphere, in the middle of it, floating or in a harness or something, where my feet don't actually touch the ground. And I'm just floating in there, and that inside of that sphere is actually like a virtual reality fucking thing. Like everything is just at the screen or whatever is just out of reach. It's like 2 feet away from my fingertips. I can't quite physically touch it in that thing. But I'm connected to this, and potentially, and I'm just floating in this sphere that everywhere I look in 360 degrees, all spherical directions, anywhere I look, I see some sort of a virtual reality. Like it's this screen that just goes all the way around me. And so maybe that's what life is. And we're in this virtual reality that is like, because, in reality, in the real reality, where we are, where you're sitting right now, we enjoy, or some people, a lot of people, and a number of people enjoy that virtual reality thing. And so potentially in the real reality, technology got so kick-ass that you can now go on these little adventures in this virtual reality sphere thing, and it's kind of like a video game, or maybe it's like the most realistic video game or enjoyment, something that's like a video game where it's just for fun, and you get in it and you live a life, and then when we die, and you see what you can do with it. It's kind of like any of the simulated worlds, like Fortnite or any of the virtual reality stuff. You're in that game trying to achieve some sort of win, right? And so maybe life is this ultra fucking high-tech version of that, and it feels like forever because it's supposed to. It feels like real life because it's supposed to. And we came into this knowing that we weren't going to really know what the fuck's going on, and we thought, okay, I think I can figure this riddle out. I'm going to figure it out, bro. Watch this. Hook me up to this machine, and I'm going to figure this shit out. It's hard to do. Nobody else can do it. And then we get in here, and we're like trying to figure it out. That's why we're always like trying to figure out the meaning of life, because that's the game. That's what we're here to try and do. Or maybe we're here to try and, gather as much stuff as we can. And then at the end of the game, you're like, look, all this stuff. I was fucking Elon Musk. And maybe we can even choose our character. Like there's this big fucking, all these options of characters that we can be. And I actually chose Dirty Honey. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I could totally be this dumbass. Watch, give me this dumbass who's got all this stupidity and stuff, and I'm going to win the game. And I'm over here trying to win as Dirty Honey, win the game of life. I don't know if I'm doing very good, though. You can't really tell if you're winning or not. This virtual reality riddle game is super fucking difficult, dude. We don't even know if anybody ever wins. And if they did win, we wouldn't know. That's why they never come back. That's why there's no ghosts and shit, because they die in our virtual world, but then they're in the real reality, wherever that is, after the game ends. This is kind of like Total Recall, I think. I haven't seen that in a long time, but it feels something like, I think that's what this is probably about, something like that. I'll have to watch that movie again. Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I thought that was just totally weird. Like I can sit here and look around and actually convince my brain. It's a little bit scary, actually. Once you start going into that and it starts to feel like you're really convincing yourself, it's like, oh fuck, dude, this is a little bit too real. Stuff's like that, dude. Your brain's crazy, and then you start to believe something, and then it gets like, oh fuck, what am I doing, dude? Do I really want to go into this room? Into this reality or whatever? And so your brain is super powerful, dude. And maybe this virtual reality game that we're in is super fucking tricky, and it's just fucking, that's all it is. This is a game. And when you get out of it, and maybe in this game, none of these other people, whoever even I'm talking to, is just part of the game. Maybe this isn't even real. Maybe there is no other people in my game, and it's just me versus this fucking computer and shit. And you might be, these other beings might be in their game, their virtual world, as something totally different. Maybe they're a fucking snail or something completely different that doesn't even exist in my Earth. My Earth might be like one of the worlds that you get to choose from. Maybe you go and you say, I want to be this character, Dirty Honey, and I'm going to live on this planet called Earth, in this country called the United States, or wherever the fuck, in Russia. I chose the moon. I chose Dirty Honey, and I said I wanted to live on the moon. Dude, this is nuts. I don't know, man. I think that's possible, just like everything else. We would never know because the game's too fucking high-tech and tricky. That's why we did it. Because we knew it would be super real. And then when people come out of the game, they're like, oh, dude, that shit was fucking nuts. I totally forgot. It was so real. And here I am. It's so real. It really is. So I don't know if that's the truth or not, but that would be super weird shit. Just something to think about. Look around you. Pretend you're in a virtual reality game and really try to convince yourself that this is just a game, and see where your mind goes with that. See if your mind is powerful enough to trick itself into thinking that that's true. And I do that shit with a lot of different stuff, and it works. It gets like, whoa, dude, am I falling into this next reality and shit? But whatever. Anyways, I just thought that was pretty cool. I was like, my mind was wah-wahing on that, and so I thought I'd share it with you. But whether it's true or not, we'll never know. But we do know one thing for sure. Be nice. That's the best thing to do. Always be nice. It makes the world a better place. And while you're being nice, or to help you be nice, listen to 91.5 FM on the radio, KUSC.org on the internet, and get you some kick-ass classical music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for free, commercial free. So that's it. You guys have a good one. Be nice. Watch all the videos, subscribe, like them. You know how to do it, dude. Just do that shit. Right? That's it. You guys have a good one.